over like bird's eye view, click to move.
Honestly, it looks to me like it's just better graphics in different classes. It seems like a lot of the features have actually been dumbed down, so there's less.
Better physics, cool, better physics, new skills. There's probably a skill respecing like person that you can respect your skills at, and talent. Or I don't even know. What about attribute points? I wonder what are they doing the hardcore system, or are they doing the pussy?
I don't know. I like I said, I haven't really been that interested enough to check out the details. So.
I don't know what they're doing, but like I said, I would have preferred them to have some sort of third person, like crazy awesome thing. Like I could just picture like
a Dungeon Lords kind of game.
Yeah, like Dungeon Lords or even like London Hellgate, right? When you were like a melee character in London Hellgate, it was in third person, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like Savage, or Savage 2, or there's tons of games that are third person, and you swing a weapon around when you click, right? Or Demon Souls, or something, right?
Don't even get me started on Demon Souls. I absolutely love that game. I think Demon Souls is a more Diablo-ish game than Diablo 3 looks like. It's dark,
yeah, exactly.
It's advanced, it's got loot, it's got everything you want from an RPG.
Exactly, and imagine
it's got replayability. So
a game like Demon Souls, right? But made it so it was more Diablo-esque, so you're gonna have barbarians and shit, but sorcerers and stuff. And then made it like, I mean, you could still have like, hardcore mode and stuff, and this and that, and and hell mode and this and that, and like a whole bunch of awesome loot, and randomly generated 3-dimensional dungeons instead of 2D dungeons. Yeah. And really awesome interactive combat between you and like larger monsters, I guess, because like you still want the Diablo feel. Like you want to be, if you're a barbarian, you want to run into a group of like 5 or 6 or 10 or
just
20.
Toss them around and really go crazy.
Yeah, it's just like whirlwind in the middle of them, just slaughter them all in one hit. Or you want to be a sorcerer or sorceress or whatever, and you want to chuck this giant ball of fire just right on them, or like summon a meteor and just smash them. Like you want to kill like 20 things at once.
I agree. I would have liked to see Diablo 3 done in a different style. I mean, I guess what they were trying to do is same thing they did with StarCraft 2. Is they just really don't want to have to reinvent. They just want to improve, I guess is the word. I don't know. I'm not too interested. I'll probably, once more news are added, I'll probably keep checking out just to keep up with it, I guess. Because the one thing that I give Blizzard credit for, and I know it's going to come back to bite me, but Blizzard is still making PC games. And for that, I love them.
Yeah.
StarCraft 2 could have come out on the Xbox and been some butchered port, like some companies just abandoning their player base. But Blizzard chose not to do that because they knew that their player base for StarCraft was on the PC. They need to make the PC game the best they can do it. Diablo 3, not on the consoles, as far as we know. It's only on the PC. And I appreciate that. I want to see more PC-only games because I think it's the superior system, obviously. And I would like to see more PC exclusive. So I give Blizzard credit for that. But at the same time, I mean, they do need to reinvent.
They need to stop being a dead horse. That's what they need.
They need to stop trying to...
They need to do something original. I mean, yeah, they did. They had successes. They did amazing stuff, but after a while, I mean, we've seen it. Like it's just not.
Well, at least on the bright side, up until their current games, they do manage to. How do I word this? They manage to make their games quality even when they are beating a dead horse, I guess.
But yeah, but it's pretty easy to make quality games when you have
when you already have the blueprints,
Yeah, well, we had the blueprints, but you also have a bunch of fanboys that will just buy the game no matter what, even if they don't even have any idea what's going on. And you also are probably the best company aside from like Microsoft, game developing company. Like you have like so much money and so much funds. Like
and
they've made
so many AAA developers.
Yeah,
so
like.
Many.
Yeah, and Blizzard probably even owns a bunch of other... Isn't Blizzard and Activision, like, combined together? Like,
and that worries me, to be honest, because like I said, Activision, I'm not the biggest fan of them, especially in recent years, and I'm starting to think that Activision, their next... Blizzard seems to have control still of their current projects, but I think any upcoming projects are going to be a little bit, Activision money-wise. I'm kind of worried about that. I wouldn't be surprised to see Blizzard start on the consoles soon, because that's where Activision knows the money is. So, I don't know, we'll have to just cross the fingers, I guess, and hope that they keep making quality games.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, that's all you can really do, I guess.
I mean...
But, I mean, I'd say that, like, I actually don't really like Blizzard at all. I'm not, like, they did really good stuff, but I just don't like what they do with, like, I don't know, whoever's on the top is obviously wants to make money, and that's what they're doing. They're making money. They're trying to make as much money as they can, and yes, they're going to put out a good game, but the only reason they're going to put out a good game is so they can make more money. You know, they're not doing anything that is going to revolutionize the entire, you know, Diablo RPG, you know, system.
That's kind of like what I was saying. Like, when I look at Diablo 3, it looks to me like something a Diablo clone company would put out. It just doesn't have that Blizzard charm, like, where you
it just doesn't have anything. It doesn't have anything that's original.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it just punches you right in the face with, oh my god, this is Diablo 3, this is what we've been waiting for. It just kind of gives you that, whatever. You, like, I don't know, maybe that's just me, but clearly it's not just me, because it's obvious.
I don't understand how people are so excited for it. It's like, I looked at it and I was like, wait, this is Diablo 3?
Yeah, it seems like it should be
Diablo 2 with a new texture pack.
Like, I was even more excited between Halo 2 and 3, to be totally honest, and that's disgusting. So
yeah, like, I don't know. I'm just not. I don't know. I didn't really find that they could have done a lot better. They could have done a lot better, and I don't know. It kind of disappointed me. I don't really care either way, but it kind of disappointed me because it's a game that could have been good that isn't.
And,
going
I
to
mean, we all loved Diablo 2 when we played it.
Yeah, like
everybody was addicted to that game for years.
Yeah, and it's just like, you know, there's so many games coming out nowadays that have such, like, promise. Like, it's like, oh yeah, this game, like, just think about how good this game's going to be, and it comes out and it's like, well, it's okay, I guess. So,
yeah, I think one of the things that we find is we look at a game and they only tell us like 50% of the details, and then we fill in the extra 50% of what we'd want to see and what we hope is going to be there and what we think is going to be there. And in the end, you know, maybe only 10% of that comes true. So I think that's where a lot of the disappointment flows in. Like, your expectations are just not met.
Yeah, and I have really huge expectations, so...
Especially from Blizzard, again, like, they're AAA developers, they've made amazing games in the past, and you just really want to see them put out something that just blows your mind.
I just don't understand how developers can make a game and go, this game's going to be successful when it's literally the biggest piece of shit I've ever seen in my entire life. Like,
there's a couple of those.
I was in the Crimecraft beta. Crimecraft. I'm sure you've never heard of it. You should probably make sure it stays that way. Crimecraft. It's basically this game that was supposed to be an MMO, but then it wasn't, and it kind of followed like the global agenda route, where it's like a big city, and you just go in instances. But the gameplay sucked balls, and it was just the worst piece of crap I've ever seen. And I was like, telling them, I'm like, guys, you have to like redo something here because this is not going to work. And obviously, they're not going to listen to one of their beta testers. So, basically, the game is a failure. It's a complete, utter failure. They lost everything. Like, the game is going to go the same route as Tabula Rasa.
Which was another game that a lot of people had very, very high hopes for.
Yeah, and it's just like, how can you look at this game, broken mechanics, boring gameplay, boring world, nothing that it's like Crimecraft, and there's no crime in it. Like, what? And who names the game that? Crimecraft? What are you trying to do? Like, rip off Blizzard's, like...
Yeah, it's...
Trying to get Blizzard on your back?
I find things like that are so sketchy.
Like, I was...
You can just tell by the name, Crimecraft. It literally sounds like they're stealing something to me.
Yeah, they're literally stealing from, like, Blizzard shit, but...
And another thing I find is, like, there's just... even, like, everything about games like that, just... They spew that whole aroma of unoriginality, and I think that's a problem that a lot of game developers have today, is that they want to make a lot of carbon copies of successful games.
I mean, to be frank, the game had promise, but it just didn't deliver. There was just too many little things that were just completely useless and wrong and terrible. And like there's good aspects about it. There was like a talent system and a bunch of different skills and stuff like that. But it didn't execute it. And when I look at Global Agenda, I almost see Global Agenda and Crimecraft side by side. But
Global Agenda succeeded in its promise.
Yeah, I mean, Global Agenda isn't World of Warcraft. It doesn't have 1 billion subscribers. It doesn't have, people, going crazy for it. It doesn't have, 5,000 websites.
And it doesn't have, 10 out of 10 ratings on every website and like...
Yeah, but I mean, it is successful, it's holding its own. And compared to a lot of other games out there, it's doing great. And, like, when I look at Crimecraft, I'm like, these games were so similar. Like, there was cloaking in both games. I mean, minus the whole, like, you have to be a certain class, but there's talent specs in both games. There's all kinds of different weaponry in both games. There's enhancements in both games. And the problem with it is just that they just didn't improve anything, and they just kind of, like, went too many ways instead of just focusing.
Yeah, I think that's where Global Agenda, when you look at Global Agenda and really what it is, it's exactly what it is. You've got dungeons that are from start to finish exactly what you expect from any RPG type instance with its roles and everything. They didn't try to do anything super innovative there other than the first person shooter thing. Its PvP is exactly what you'd expect. It's objective based, team versus team, class based, shooting RPG action. But the point is that they didn't try to invent anything extremely new. What they did was they just said, what's going to be fun in a game?
Yeah, and everyone loves jetpacks. So
it's got that tribes thing. And
yeah, it has like the tribes thing going on. It has like, it has, items. Everyone loves items. Everyone loves leveling up. Everyone loves talent specs. They like customization,
Yeah.
So they just took all these good ideas and just put them together, put them in,
and
they didn't try anything like some weird, stupid thing. Like, I mean, not to say that, here we are going, well, we're getting tired of the normal stuff.
Yeah, I was just about to say, we might sound somewhat hypocritical, but there's a huge difference in what we say here.
Like for Crimecraft,
we're tired of carbon copies of games, where people are just unoriginal, putting up the same content. The difference is that a game like Global Agenda takes what works and tries something new with it, which is put it in a third-person shooter engine,
exactly, and
put real-world physics,
and they try to improve it too. Like they made the open zone, right?
Yeah, they realized
they're like, we should probably do this to make it more appealing.
Because you can tell that the developers are on top of things because they realize the shortcomings in their game, and they fixed it fast. I mean, it didn't take very long for Global Agenda to change. They said, our payment method, we don't like it. We're going to change it, which brought in more players. They said, and not to make Global Agenda sound like the best game on the planet, but that is just good business. That is good design. It makes the consumer feel like they're cared about a little bit more, instead of just a guy on the forums screaming about what they want and never being answered.
Yeah, and the problem with some companies is that they try to go too many ways. Like with Crimecraft, one of the things that they were going to go on about was it was like a semi-fashion-y kind of game. Like, those, like, chat games like...
Yeah.
Like Second Life or, like, IMVU or whatever. Like, the ones where you have, like, a character and it's, like, semi-fashion-based and stuff. Like, you can get, like, a suit or you can get a dress or whatever the fuck. Well, Crimecraft was kind of like that. Like, you could get, like, a brand name of jeans and stuff. Like, all these, like, different types of jeans and, like, different types of shorts and different types of, like, khaki pants and weird, all this different clothing. And that was supposed to be a big factor. It's like, I'm pretty sure when, like, some guy's, like, trying to shoot someone's head off, I don't think he's going to be caring about, like, oh, good thing I have these new, new pair of pants.
These new pants and hats and shirts.
Yeah, like I mean, it's just like what's the point of this? Like, and I mean, yeah, the items added stats, but like it was stupid. Like I was